Lowman Master, coming at you guys again from the Team Time Riders YouTube channel, and today I have the short form profile of my Neos deck. For those who don't want to sit through all of the explanation, this is just going to literally be the cards. Very, very excited for the brand new support cards in this deck. Still have a couple of proxies, still missing some things, whatever needs to happen. If you guys like these short form profiles, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll be more happy to do more of them or to substitute them. That's fine. Y'all good. Alright, so starting things off, we have 3 Elemental Hero Neos. Very good. Need 3 for the new spell card. It's pretty self-explanatory. And now we have, moving on to the Neo Spacians. We have the best ones in here at 2. Neo Spacian, Dark Panther, Glow, Grand Mole, and Aqua Dolphin. Aqua Dolphin for the hand traps, and Grand Mole for his effect, and also because he's a material along with Dark Panther to go for the Nebula Neos. So these guys are pretty self-explanatory in here at 2 apiece. And now I have a proxy in here at 1 apiece. We have 1 copy of Air Hummingbird. This is supposed to be Flare Scarab and Glow Moss. Glow Moss, as you guys know, is my personal favorite. Flare Scarab's the worst. Air Neos gains Air Hummingbird gains you life points. Self-explanatory. Now, Neo Space Connector. If you don't know what he does by now,
oh, this card is amazing.
One card I sold, or one card I sold, or one card like Neos Fusion if you have either a Neos or whatever from the grave. Neo Spacian from the grave grabs you a Neos or Neo Spacian from the deck, and then allows you to tribute himself to grab one from the grave. So you can pretty much go for anything with that. Very, very good. He would have sucked if he was by himself, but thanks to Neos Fusion and a whole bunch of other support cards, he becomes like a very strong part of a also very strong deck. 2 Elemental Hero Prisma, still like him in here. Very good for ditching anything to your graveyard, really. Still think he's good with the Rainbow Neos and stuff like that. 2 Honesty Neos, OTK potential. You never summon him, that's alright. 1 Rainbow Dragon, this is where my Rainbow Dragon is in my previous deck profile, and 1 Elemental Hero Shadow Mist, for if you wanted Brave Neos or Neos Knight. Now moving on to the spell cards, guys. For the 3-ofs, we have the Neos Fusion, the Miracle Contact, and Convert Contact. Convert Contact start off. Probably the least good of all of these. Discard any Neospatian from your hand to your grave, and then send 1 from deck to grave and draw 2. Cannot activate if you don't have any Neospatians in your hand, or you control monsters on the field. So can brick quite a great deal. But when you have a bunch of these and you're just cycling through Neospatians, it can be very, very good. Draw power can get insane in this deck. Miracle Contact, shuffle back anything from your hand, field, or graveyard listed on a Fusion Material Monster card, listing a Neos Fusion, and special summon that Fusion from your extra deck. Summoning conditions, pretty self-explanatory. This is the same, except can summon any 2 material Neos Fusion monster that includes Elemental Hero Neos.
This is probably the best out of all of them.
Single-handedly makes the deck like that much better. Sends the Neos things you need to your graveyard, so you can use Miracle Contact next turn. But it has a very fair restriction that there can be no special summoning the turn after you use this, for the rest of the turn after you use this effect. The art's great, the images look great. It's a very Jaden kind of card, and I love it. It's made this deck so, so good. Whoops, guys. Next, we're moving on. We've got 2 emergency calls. Search your Honesty, search your Shadow Mist, search your Prismas. Pretty good. 2 Contact Out for the Contact Fusion spells. Note that all the materials must be listed on the Fusion monsters and all be able to special summon it all in your deck. So it is an iffy card to try and use, but it is good. Rhoda, Hero Lives, Neospace. All self-explanatory. I like Neospace, not a lot of people do. It's helped me out in a lot of situations. Now for the traps, we got 3 NEXT. Still running the Royal Decrees as tributes because I'm missing 2 NEXT. But this is great. You can activate it from your hand if you control no cards. Just special summon any 1 Elemental Hero Neos and as many Neospacians from your hand or graveyard as you want. A lot of times stuff will get clogged in your hand, so this is just so excellent for being able to get that stuff out and use it. And finally, Hope for Escape, which I can't find any reason to take out right now. I really do like the card. It was a placeholder for a while, but I've kind of grown attached to it in the deck, and it really, really helps for when you take a bunch of damage and you need it. So that's it for the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck, guys. One of each of these guys, the 6 Neos Fusions, and 2 of Elemental Hero Dark Neos, who I think is the best one out of all of these. Right now, these have gone from like summon one if you're lucky to basically toolbox whichever one out you need that's best for the particular situation. Special shoutouts, of course, to Aqua Neos, Glow Neos, and Dark Neos for being my 3 favorites in terms of things to summon against this particular meta. That's not to say that Grand Neos isn't fantastic for bouncing back things for non-destruction. Flare Neos can beat over huge monsters, is great against Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon. Fantastic against that card. And Air Neos has saved me in quite a number of pinches for his ability to gain all of that attack power, and with an Honest Neos for gain. Aqua Neos has done great work ripping cards out of my opponent's hand, combined with Deep Fusion and Aqua Dolphin to basically hand rape my opponent. Sorry for the words, but whatever. Glow Neos, special shout out to him because he's a guy who gets rid of floodgates, and if he gets rid of the spell card as a floodgate, he can attack directly, and I've done that before. I've gotten rid of an opponent's spell card that they've been using, attack directly with him, ditch Honesty Neos, inflict 5,000 over a full board. Very good, and Dark Neos negates any effect monster on the field, including himself, making sure that he doesn't go back to the extra deck. So that's the original 6 Neos Fusions. Now we have Neos Knight, pretty generic. Neos 1 Warrior, beat over stronger monsters, send Shadow Mist, activate its effect. Could come out for Brave Neos, still haven't decided yet. Still a very good card. And now for the 3 Material Neos Fusions, we have Chaos Neos, Magma Neos, Nebula Neos, and Storm Neos. Storm Neos is Heavy Storm. Magma Neos is boost up 400 for everything on the field, including himself. Every card on the field can get very, very beefy, very fast. Chaos Neos is kind of a coin flip dark hole kind of monster that also has a bad effect for you. Bouncing all your stuff back if you only flip 1 heads up. So that's an issue. And the Nebula Neos, I think, is the best one out of all of them. Draws you cards equal to the number of cards your opponent controls, and then choose a card on their field and negate that target's effect. So each one of these also has a effect when it goes back to the extra deck. Storm Neos shuffles everything back to the deck. Nebula Neos banishes it face down. Elemental Hero Magma Neos sends it all back to the hand, and Chaos Neos will set everything on the field. So these 2 are kind of not as summoned as often as these 2 are, but all of them are still very, very good in their own rights and can be incredibly useful in the right situations. Now moving on for the final cards, we have 1 copy of Rainbow Neos. Gotta have this in here. Waiting on my Ghost Rare Rainbow Dragon right now to come in the mail, but as soon as it does, it's going to be in here too. I don't think I need to explain this. You guys have probably seen enough Rainbow Neos action to know how good this card is. Cosmo Neos, brand new. I'm missing a Brave Neos in here because I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to switch some stuff up for him. Cosmo Neos is amazing. Just basically does what I wish that most Neos Spacian fusion monsters would do. Locks down the whole board. Him and any 3 fusion material monsters, Neos and any 3 Neos Spacian, locks down the board and just prevents them from doing anything. And once he is just on the board and doing his thing, you can just basically, it's a rain check on your opponent at that point. And then at the end phase, if you choose to send him back, you destroy everything on the field. So good. And a lot of people don't really like him. A lot of people don't summon him. I think he is absolutely a necessity. And then finally, the card that I might take out for Brave Neos if I want to run all, normal ways is he sold Twin Tails and the Noble Knights. You already know her. Some of you love her, some of you hate her, but very, very good card, as you guys are well aware, and gets you extra advantage. And most of the time, you use stuff in your graveyard for the Nebula, the Neospace connector. So very, very good card. All right, guys. So that's gonna about wrap up the deck profile.
Do you have any shoutouts?
Shout out to Dark Magic Ian behind the camera, and shout out to the guys at Pandemonium who returned this deck to me when I lost it. In the fit of me running up to try and figure out what the heck was wrong with my car, I left this deck downstairs and it was turned in. So thank you so much to everyone at Pandemonium in Boston and to the store and to all of you guys. I can't enough for that. I don't know what I would have done if I lost this deck, and I'm just saying, like, sometimes, you know, a lot of people rag on the Yu-Gi-Oh community, but there's some times where this community is just fantastic. So, I mean, shout outs and hats off to all of them, to whoever turned in the deck and to whoever made sure that I could have it again. So thank you once again, and this has been the Mermail Master, signing out. Catch you guys next time. Peace.